All right, brethren, thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me. My name is Jaquab Ben Yisrael. We made it to another Friday. The weekend is going to get a hold of us to try to work its influence, to get us to chase the world, to get us to chase the flesh. Brethren, thank you for joining me. This is the highlight of my week right here, being able to have some fellowship with you, brethren. We get together, speak our own language. We can try to set aside a little time for the acknowledgement of the Creator, the whom the world calls God. And brethren, it's I can't think of a better thing to do. It's definitely the highlight of my week. It's where I charge my batteries for the coming week. And I just can't tell you how much I appreciate you, brethren. Spend a little time to come in, and then we can just share a little bit of word and hopefully strengthen, redeem the time, that sort of thing. I want to give thanks to the Creator for this opportunity and pray that the Creator, that you use me to redeem the time, to give a good video, to say something encouraging that will help brethren to be encouraged in this walk, to continue to learn of the light that you are giving to us in preparation for our kingdom of light to come on the earth. Creator, it's not easy in this reality when we live in a time where this message is not really popular. Nobody seems to really care. And it's hard for us to turn to somebody and talk about the things that we want to talk about, spiritual things, and talk about what we're learning and talk about how we're growing and things that you have revealed to us. And we're scattered, and we desperately, I personally believe that we want to be gathered. We want to take part in the kingdom of light. You promise that it will come, that it will be on earth as it is in heaven. And I just pray that you speed up the day, and that the world would that you would show that especially that you would grant power from on high to fall upon sons and daughters, so that we could witness to the world and we could put an end to the kingdom of man and the backwards, downward spiral that we are currently in, where we are about ourselves. We are about serving ourselves. Our mindset is towards ourselves. It's not towards our brother, which is the kingdom of light. And we realize, Creator, that you are setting up your sons and daughters to go into the world and to show the world the only way that man can live, the only way that he can be free, is to want to serve one another. That is how we realize the highest life. That is how we attain the life that all of us have always dreamed about, to be able to be in a situation where we're free. We're not under captivity to any God or Lord, or not under captivity to any man or king or tyrant. Or the only way that we can be really free, the way we want to be free, is to attain to your voice, to want to serve one another, be selfless, to try to see what, be a service to our brethren. That's the only way that we can live we can live and be blessed the way that the whole world wants to be blessed. And we know that day is coming. We give thanks for the cosmic era, when we know now that the kingdom is going to manifest like it has never manifested before, because at some point sons and daughters are going to receive power from on high, and then the world will come running. Then they'll come running once they see that they haven't been trying to prepare, haven't been paying attention, have not been given the spirit to seek and attain to your voice. And then when they see you raise up sons and daughters, and we begin to manifest the power that the world has always sought, then they come running. They're going to want to come running. And Creator, we know that you will have taught us to receive them, receive the world, and to show them what life is really supposed to, what it's the way it's always supposed to have been, which is for men and women to be free, to worship you, to glorify you, and then doing that, then we um, come under an eternal blessing. So, Creator, I pray for this video that you'll help me to say something that I speak clearly, speak very simply, very plainly, and give a good understanding on what I'm going to be reading. I'm going to do a recap of what I did yesterday because it was so powerful. I could barely, Creator, you just blessed me so much. I could barely read it. I could barely get through it, what I read. And so I'm minded to do the same reading over again. And I pray that you will make it even, the message even stronger. You give me greater understanding than I had yesterday when I was reading it. I didn't expect to read that message and how it talks about the soul and how you made it very clear what our destiny is. And it was just a blessing. And I'm just disappointed that billions of people can't hear this message. I'm disappointed in my soul, but I know that day is going to come to an end too. Now, you chosen sons and daughters to lay the foundation of what the world will only become to realize later on. So, Creator, thank you, and go with me, my video, and bless all who see it, all who hear it, my brethren and sisters who get a chance to look at this. Creator, thank you in your name. So let it be. All right, brethren, Elijah, Sharice, anybody else looking? Thank you, blessing me by joining me. We got another little chance to go into, set aside a little bit of the day, set aside a little bit, and acknowledge the Creator, go into his word, try to learn. I think that the Creator appreciates it when he knows that during the week we run here, we run there, we're preoccupied, the things of the earth. You got family, you got obligations, you got, and the world, they got the world. The world is set up to preoccupy people all the way to the end. Some people, they put off dying because they got things they have to finish before, they got projects and, they got things they got to do. They're not allowed to leave the earth, because they got too many other things that they got to do, and that's not too far off, man. The setup, this here reality that we in right now, we in the flesh, we in the embryo, you faith this, you got the understanding that now is the time. You see, you're in the womb. This ain't the real life. We know the real life is when we're born into the spirit. And then that's when you come in. From what I can understand, you are who you really are without no pretensions. You in the spirit realm now, you are who you really are and who you have made yourself out to be. We know as Faithist, and on this channel, this is a very special. Those of my brethren in the description area, other Faithists, we know we in the embryo. I'm sorry if I'm redundant saying that, but that's an incredible thing. That's an incredible thing, man. We in the embryo, and we are awaiting to be born into the real life. We in the embryo waiting to be born into the real life. Just think about it. And then the Creator, he says, make yourself. So here we are. Not only do we know we in the embryo of the world, the Creator, he tells us why we're in the, he tells us you're in the embryo. He says the purpose you're in the embryo. He says where you're headed. He says he helps us by giving us understanding to make ourselves. Now, again, I like to say it all the time. If you could make yourself, what would you make yourself? You know what I mean? How, what would you do to yourself? What would you, how would you look? What gifts, your personality, your characteristics? What would you give yourself? See, we learned a powerful lesson the other day, man. I could barely contain myself. I could barely contain myself yesterday. I know I acted kooky yesterday because I just, the message thrilled my soul. It thrilled my soul. Like it's like when I do these videos and I ask the creator, I ask him to make me invisible. I'd like to be invisible so that the attention is focused on the creator. I've seen the world. I've seen what men do every single time, man, whether I was in religion, in a church, some spiritual group, there's always some guys, they got to go after the glory that belongs to the Father. It's never fails, man. Ever since I started to walk my walk in the Spirit, and I began to go down that road, it's always men who try to make it the glory that belongs to the creator. They try to make it their own. They try to give it to themselves. I'm very leery of that. I'm very leery. I'm very leery of that type of spirit where guys get together and they try to make the glory of the creator exclusive to themselves. You don't know what you're doing. You're going to be blocked from understanding. I've seen it all my life. And so, having seen that, I always ask the creator, please, please take away the desire for vainglory, to want to glorify myself. I thank him for beating me up in life. I've been really beat up in life. I've had to really be, to get me to see that, to admit that the creator, what's a good word for, he's able. The creator is able to bring you low. He could bring you low or bring you high. But he seems to humble a brother first. Seems to humble him. And then when he can give glory to the creator, he just ain't interested in vainglory, because he knows it's vain. It's just what it says it is. It ain't good for nothing, man. When he realizes that, even in the Bible, it talks about how the creator, he used the base things of the world, the lowly things, to confound the wise. And I give him thanks for that, because I realize that I see how proud a man can be. And so, like I said, I've had to be beat up in my life so I could learn what I'm sharing nowadays, what it feel like to be free of men, the dominion of men, where men are constantly trying to draw men into themselves, not to the creator. When I was in religion, they did the same thing. And when you're starting out and you're trying to learn, you're trying to find a creator, you don't know what's being done to you. And it's always somebody wants you to join this, join that, be a part of us, we're special. And, and then when you're young, it's real appealing. But as you get older, you see that it's worthless. It's a waste of time. And so I like to ask the creator, I like to constantly remind the creator to make me a conduit for the light. And then that way my soul is at rest. And I'm sharing that just so somebody might consider what I'm saying. I'm telling you that I learned, creator, it seems like there's a story in the Bible that makes me laugh that I love to share. I love to share it, man. There's a story, it's a funny story in the Bible, and it's a good lesson behind it. And the man, he shows up at a banquet, and then Jesus Christ was saying, when you are invited to the feast, here, let me show you. Let me see if I can show you real quick. It makes me laugh every time I share it. When thou art invited to a feast, King James Version. You know, it makes me laugh every time I read it because I like the lesson behind it. And it says, it's on the screen. It says, when you are invited by anyone to a wedding feast, do not sit down in the best place, you know, right up next to the guests of honor. Don't, you know, because they're that's the way the spirit of man is. He automatically thinks, you know, that he's going to automatically go for the best possible advantage, you know, the best place, you know. But here, and you know, it's a good lesson. It says, when you're invited by anyone to a wedding feast, do not sit down in the best place, lest one more honorable than you be invited by him, and he who invited you and him come and say to you, give place to this man. And then you begin with shame to take the lowest place, you know? And that's true, man. You know, you at the banquet, you assume you're gonna just go sit right next to the guest of honor. You know, right up next to the guest of honor, and then the butler come up and he's got somebody with him. And you in a crowd of people in the banquet hall, and then the butler say, give place. You know, he, talking to you, give place. There is someone more honorable than you whose seat you are sitting in. You know, and it says that, and then you begin with shame to get up and to take the lowest place. And it's like this lesson is trying to save you that experience. You know, Creator trying to save you the experience of being embarrassed when you know, you in a situation that, you know, Creator trying to tell you the best mindset to be in, being that, you know. And then this verse here, it goes on to say, it's better for you to be called up front. You know, you take the lowly place, and then the master of ceremonies or the feast, you know, he says, you know, hey, Yaiquab, what are you sitting way back there for? Come up front, come up here, you know. See? And then the opposite is in effect, you know. And the people, they look at it, you know, wow, he's getting invited to the front, you know. But you see the lesson, simple lesson. That's the beautiful thing about it, you know. And it's the same way in the spiritual for faith. It's the same way, you know. Be of that lowly mind, and then you can get used. Creator will use you. You know, that message is all throughout the Oahspe too. I was reading about Osiris, the god who turned into a false god, and he was getting dealt with by Ahura, and Ahura was trying to bring him back to get him to turn around and, you know, not, you know, Osiris he was getting full of himself. And the example that Ahura gives is that Ahura could have overpowered him, but he didn't do it. He appealed to him. He could have overpowered Osiris, but he made an appeal to him. So with faith, this Creator, he basically, everywhere you look, you read, he appealing to us to put down put down the earthly, the carnal nature, to put it down. He could force us, but he make an appeal. That's what this whole thing is all about. Now you got faithists who they hear that message and they get started down that road because they know that they in the embryo. They believe they in the embryo. I believe it. I believe this is an amazing thing to me. You know, I'm in the embryo. And the decisions I make now, I reap the fruit of those. So if the Creator telling me that I got it, you know, I mean, you brethren, don't you know that you're on the road to being ethereal gods and goddesses? You know that, right? We are starting our journey right now in the womb, being born royalty, to be born into royalty. You know how in this world, there are some people that are born into royalty. Now you brethren know why they're the Creator. He gave you an example of this world. In this world, there are people who are born into privilege. See? They born into privilege. Now the Creator, he given us a little example. What will be the fate of faithists? You're going to be born into royalty. The sons and daughters are to be born into royalty. Why? Because of the things that we do in the embryo. We in the embryo. The Creator is teaching us to we making up our own garments. You know, like you say in the Bible, it talks about the bride. She made herself ready. So we are in a situation, and I hope I never get tired of repeating it, of the situation we're under. There was a sister that came in yesterday, part of the beast kingdom. It was a shame. Sometimes people come in immediately, they want to start talking. They tell me they're not ready for the Creator. They immediately come in, they start wanting to post and spam the room and talk about Jesus Christ. And that lets me know right there, right off the bat, that this is somebody who's not ready for the Creator. You're not ready to, you would think they would come in and take the lowest place, you know, at the feast. Take the lowest place, man. Just come in, sit, listen, see what it's all about, and then make a comment or make a statement. You know what I mean? But they come in and immediately they take the highest place in the feast. You know, I'm a Christian, you know, and Jesus is Lord. You know, come right in, just bust in and take a seat right next to the master of ceremonies, you know. See, that attitude, that spirit, that's rampant. It's in the world. That's the way men are. About time for the soul confirmations. Here's my room, my mom's ministry, my contact info. Anybody who likes to get down ministering to the orphans and to disabled and to elderly, brother, you got me. You got me. There's my contact info. If you got something you want to make it work, I'm with you. You can contact me. How I can help, you can contact me. If you want to donate to an orphan, in the description box, it got a link for you there. So here's one room for anybody new to this video and you want to have fellowship. You can go to Facebook, go to this room. But I prefer Brother Omian's room. Brother Omian's room, he's got bigger rooms. Brother Omian, this is his room right here. He's got another room too that I recommend for anybody who is listening to this video, who you know, here's this other room. So you can just make a note of those. I got them listed in the description box if there's a new brother, sister. And then you can just go to the Facebook and then click on and ask to join and then have fellowship with us. See, you know, without a shadow of a doubt, these rooms are going to be the biggest rooms, and similar rooms all over the world. Faithist rooms, without a shadow of a doubt, these rooms are going to be the biggest in the world. No doubt, no doubt in my mind whatsoever. These rooms like this, they're going to be the biggest rooms in the whole wide world by far. People are going to run to these rooms. They're going to run to them. Right now, we deal in obscurity. Nobody, nobody knows about them. Nobody cares. And I love it personally. I love it. I read where the creator said, "Don't." That's the way I want it. I want you, brethren, flying under the radar. I want you flying. I don't want you worldwide and people busting down your doors. That's not my plan for you right now. You just keep on running, and then he's going to show these and rooms like this all over the world where people pay no mind to it. What the creator does, and I'm positive that my understanding is I think my understanding is I think I'm right in my understanding saying this. What he does is he shows people how you haven't been looking. Because see, I've been right here all this time. See this brother's room here? He's been here for years. That brother, he's been here for years. This brother been ministering for 50 years. Nobody paid him any. You paid no attention. See, because you weren't looking. If you look for me, you'll find me. So I'm not jaded when I see that. There's no attention, there's no concern, there's no care by the world. If there was a big bum rush for these rooms, to me, something would be wrong. I would be concerned about that. So it's time for the soul confirmations. Now, for people who are new to this room right here, and you don't know what the soul confirmations are, is something that just recently that the creator in my inspiration has shared with me to do these things, praying that my brethren in the description box and all over who see this video, even brethren who are not faithists, that everyone who comes into contact with this information, that they'll begin to do it. Because this is how you create a vortex, a force, a vibration. I firmly believe this is how you prepare ye the way of the Lord, like it says in the Bible. The soul confirmations are called. And if anyone is new to the room, just read, stop the screen and read this. What I got on the screen here, just read that. Now, this is part 2 of a study that I was doing, but just stop the screen and read, and that'll help you get up to speed a little bit why we do these soul confirmations. Now, I want to say I found it by mistake, but I don't think the creator works like that. I don't think that he's coincidence. I think that this is one of the ways he prepares his brides and bridegrooms. See, people, they think in this world, in the beast kingdom, they think like you just hang out and then all of a sudden you come into the blessing of the resurrection without working for it, without striving for it. That's the biggest deception in the world today. People just hang out, just think that, just sit back waiting on the resurrection. And, you already, quoted John 3:16. So you got a ticket that says admit one and it's all good. And you don't understand. You don't understand. You don't understand, man. You don't understand. The faithists have been around since 1860. These are people who the creator has deemed he wants them to come into this truth since the 1860s, and it's picking up steam in our day because Pluto has gone into Aquarius. That means that we're in the bell lap. If you look at track and field, the bell lap, they ring that bell. That means it's the last lap, brother, before the manifestation of the kingdom. This is the last lap, where now you got brethren and sisters doing these soul confirmations. See, this is them plugging their soul into the creator. This is us plugging. We're getting plugged in now, and we can't force nobody to go with us. That's the shame of it. It's time for the soul confirmation. So we're on this part right here where it says every particle every particle. The fourth verse down, every particle. We're going to say it 3 times together on 3. That's how we get that vortex going in the world and within ourselves. See, a vortex. That's what the Creator used to create the planets and everything, the worlds, the universes, the vortex. See, we getting this started now. The time is now, man. Prepare ye the way of the Lord. And just consider when you're saying these things, brethren, it's like you're adding one more little piece to your puzzle, the puzzle of you. Look at it this way. You are adding, this is you adding your pieces of the puzzle to you. We're going to say this 3 times together on 3, where it starts with every particle. I hope you can see it. I'm pretty sure you can. 3 times together on 3. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Every particle of my nature tingles and thrills with the vitality and health of the Creator. Okay, again, 1, 2, 3. Every particle of my nature tingles and thrills with the vitality and health of the Creator. Again, one more time. 1, 2, 3. Every particle of my nature tingles and thrills with the vitality and health of the Creator. You see the way these things are written? And that's it. That's how we create that vortex. See, that's the soul confirmation for today. I'm going to do it again at the end of the video. See, do you see? Look how these things are written, man. You know what I mean? It's like you go into a store, you say, I'll take this, I'll take that, I'll take this, I'll take that. Now, call me kooky, man, but I believe that this is the same principle. It's like, okay, the Creator's saying, say this, say that, say this, say that, say this. You know, during the day, you can have this screenshot up on your computer and just go refer to it, you know, during the day. You don't have to wait till the video where we all can say it together. You can just during the day, you know what I mean? During the day, you just pick one and you say it, you know, and then think like you're adding it, you know, you adding another piece of your soul, you know, you are reconnecting with your soul power. It's like, you know, the angels, you know, they say, okay, they want this, they want that. You know, they want to arouse their dormant powers. Okay, check. They want every particle of their nature to tingle and thrill with vitality and health. Okay, check. They want all the forces. Are, you know, it's like, so they making up your DNA, you know, they putting it in place, you know, putting it this part here, that part there. Okay, they said they want the intelligence of my soul to rule every organ. Okay, give them that. Okay, they said they want their soul, you know, look at it that way by faith. See, you can't, you know what? For some reason, you can't tell me. I don't know how to, I don't want to sound proud. You just, I'll never let you tell me this ain't preparing the way of the Lord, the Creator, preparing the way of the Creator. This is how you do it. You know, I remember when I was a Hebrew Israelite and I'd read verses like that, prepare you the way of the Lord, make straight paths for his feet or something like that. And you always left to thinking, what does it mean? You don't know what it means because it leave you hanging. So the Bible leave you hanging. That's why it's getting destroyed nowadays. You know, I'm not saying throw away the Bible. I'm saying that you need a faithist to translate it. If you don't find a faithist, if you don't find a faithist to translate the Bible, see, you know what? That is a terrible thing. That is a terrible thing, man. You know what? Do you know that, brethren, sisters and brothers? If you don't find a faithist to translate that word, do you know that you are in big trouble? I hope you brethren real. Them brethren I got there in the description box and other brethren throughout the world, if somebody don't find them, If somebody don't find them, brethren, do you realize the trouble that people are in? Unless the creator, he do a work on them. The creator, he can quicken somebody. But a big part of the creator's plan is them brethren there that I got in the description box. If somebody don't find us, you know, you got problems. And there's most people will not find the faiths, you know, to sit them down and translate the Bible. And we live in a world where people, they are wise in their own conceits. Elijah said, right, your guardian angel's job to watch over you and help fulfill your creative purpose. That's exactly right. How do you like that? How do you like that? What he got there? Our job is to get out of the way, man. Just get out of the way of the Yashars and let them go to work, man. Get out of the way. You know, just get out of the way, man. You know, and be a conduit. Let them work. Let them go to work on you. You know, see, they're not going to violate your free. They will not mess with your free will. See, you brethren are free now. And now the creator is saying, here, not only are you free, let me take you higher, man. You know, if you can dig it, if you can hang in this reality, see, you're not even born yet. You brethren, we ain't born yet. We ain't born in the spirit. We ain't born yet. See, we are busy. We are busy busy making ourselves. And you know what? The world is not redeeming, you know, the world don't care. They don't care. Why don't they care? This is what they want. This is what they want. They want, you know, don't parents send their children to the best schools? You know what I mean? Don't they work all their life to provide? Isn't that something? And they work hard. You know, work 20, 30 years, send their kid to Catholic school, you know, all for temporariness, all for this carnality, all for this current reality. And you can't blame them. They trying to do the best they can. But this is so much great. What if you had your child repeat the soul confirmation? Man, can you imagine that? You know, the new generation, the faith that's coming up, the children growing up under this. Repeat, man, the world will bust open. It can't handle that. The children growing up repeating these soul confirmations. You see? Can you imagine that? The world will bust open. The new faithists, the young generation. Let me go to my room and share some verses before I go to the reading of the word. Some things that I share from things that I look at, try to find things. I like to try to, you know. So let me go to some verses, share some verses. Now, I found something in Ark Bond, the 12 virtues. The 12 virtues. See, the creator, it's like he says, there ain't no lack of instruction, you know. He puts a mountain in front of you. He says, here, go climb it. Climb it, man. You know, here, Climb this mountain. You want to come after me? Here, here's a mountain right over here, right? Go climb it. Go climb that mountain. All right? Come after me, man. Come at me. You don't know the blessing, the higher that you ascend, the glory, the majesty. We don't know. But your soul testify of the glory and blessing. Your soul does. That's why you brethren here. You listening to this word. That's why you're like a moth to the light. You know what I mean? You know how a moth, it go to the light? It's attracted to it. See, you brethren, you the same way. Do you know we got a world of people who ain't attracted to this light? They not attracted to it. And I keep imagining, the creator, he says, all right, the time has come. Call everybody, bring them in. Call the laborers in from the field and give them their pay. Y'all remember that story in the New Testament? Call the laborers in from the field, King James Version. Y'all remember this part right here? Because I'm using the vineyard as you, brethren. You, brethren, the vineyard, the workers in the field. Y'all remember this parable, right? Kingdom of heaven is like to a man as a householder which went out early in the morning and the hire laborers in his vineyard. You could say it's like the creator, right? You have to translate the Bible. And when he agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into his vineyard. So now here we are, and you could say the vineyard is you. Creator is saying, okay, here, Elijah, go work out in the vineyard. That's you. Work on your soul, okay? Prepare yourself for your eternity, for when you were born in the spirit. Here, go out, work in the vineyard. My vineyard is you. And so it says, verse 3, and the creator went out about the third hour when he saw others standing idle in the marketplace. All right. And then the creator said unto them, go ye also in the vineyard, whatsoever is right, I will give you. And they went their way. And he went out about the 6th and the 9th hour. He did likewise, looking, calling brethren, here, go. Here, start your spiritual journey in the womb right now. Get yourself together. Go ahead and get yourself started. Go make yourself. Okay, get started today. Here's some soul confirmations. Get started with that. And then the creator went out about the 11th hour and found others standing idle and said to them, why stand you here idle all day? Why stand you here? Why here? The faithists are calling you. Go out in the field and start working, man. Let's go. And then some brothers say, well, because no man has hired us. Oh, the creator say to them, go ye also in the vineyard, and whatsoever is right, that shall ye receive. So when even was come, the creator of the vineyard, the creator of us, he saith to his steward, call the laborers, call the faithists. I'm translating the Bible. Call the faithists, give them their hire, beginning from the last to the first. Now, when they came that were hired about the 11th hour, they received every man a penny. Now, you could speculate that the penny is salvation or even resurrection. They received resurrection. But this account, it kind of doesn't apply because brethren will elevate to different levels. From what I could see, when they're born in the spirit, then we don't all go to the same place. But here in this account, a penny is, you can say, it's equal to like resurrection. In Christianity, they say a penny is equal to salvation. And then verse 10, it says, but when the first came, they supposed they should have received more. And they likewise received every man a penny. And when they received it, they murmured against the Creator, saying, wait a minute, hold up, man. We've been here, we worked longer than they did. You giving us the same as you giving them, and they came in at the last minute of the day. What's up with that? And Creator said to them, friend, I did you no harm. Didst thou not agree with did thou not agree with me for a penny? All right then, take thine is, go thy way. I will give unto the last, even as to thee. Is it not lawful for me to do what I will with my own? Is thine eye evil because I am good? So the last shall be first, and the first last. From any called, few chosen. So I'm using this parable to say that there are brethren, they labor. Now, according to the Oahspe, when you combine the two, this account is hard to use because it couches it like, it has too narrow a view of resurrection. But I'm using this to show that some people, they contribute more than others to themselves, and they reap a greater harvest. This here parable, it kind of leaves you hanging from how I want to use it, but you get my point, that we are called to labor. That's the big point that I'm trying to point out. See? And then there's another parable. The Creator, he says there, he talks about the parable of the sower and, some brethren and 20, 40, 60, 100-fold, they reap a harvest. See, the point that I'm trying to make is labor. If you're going to be here, man, labor. Really, it has to do with laboring. It really have to do with feeding your mind, changing your mind, adopting the Creator, adopting the language of the Creator, adopting the promises of the Creator, adopting the soul confirmations. Creator is telling you, okay, this is how you make yourself. He calls it labor. You making yourself. In order to make something, you gotta you know what I mean? You gotta work at it. We read when we did that study called the special session that we were born into a poisonous atmosphere. Like, give you an example. How language can be a poisonous atmosphere. People say hello. Y'all know the story behind hello? Hello? How it came to pass? Hello was the name of Alexander Graham Bell's girlfriend. But I heard a brother say it could be equal to saying hell is low. Like good morning. You know what I mean? Here, let me show you. Alexander Graham Bell's girlfriend. Alexander Graham Bell's girlfriend was named Susan Hello. Oh, okay, it's saying no, it wasn't true. She was not named Susan Hello. The idea that Bell's girlfriend was named Susan Hello, and that's why people say hello on the phone. Oh, okay, they say it's a myth. All right. So they're saying it was a myth. Well, let's see how it started. Anyway, so they say it was a myth. All right. So it was a myth. So I stand corrected. It says the word hello became the standard telephone greeting after Thomas Edison suggested it. All right. So we got the correction. It said before Edison's suggestion, Bell had originally suggested ahoy as the greeting. The word hello originated from Luamong. The word hell is low originated from hallow, which is an alteration of hola or hola. These words were used to get someone's attention to make them stop what they were doing. Okay, so I stand corrected. So this is what I had heard. See, that's one thing about this reality. You don't even know what's true sometimes. Now, this is what I heard. That we say hello because his girlfriend was named Hello. But down here it says no, it was something different. So that's cool, but you can still make a point that language can be a source of a unsuspecting curse. You better know that. You know what I mean? A poisonous atmosphere we have been born into is said in the study we did on special session. A poisonous atmosphere. Words, actions, because they have consequences. And now the creator, he's showing us how to reverse that. You see what I mean? We being shown how to reverse this poisonous atmosphere by doing things like these here soul confirmations. See? Now these are good. These are words to help purify us. See? These words help purify us. It's important we understand the purpose of these things. You know what I mean? We've been born, remember in special session, that video we did in Radiance Anthology? It said we've been born into a poisonous atmosphere here on the earth. See, we are not fitted for the earth like an animal is. That's what we're getting ready to read. We're not fitted for, it's like the earth is not, the creator, he distinguishes the earth from the spiritual realm. We were built for the spiritual realm. See, these soul confirmations here, that's our power. This is our power. Do you know that and more than this? He don't be telling us to do these things and say these things unless this is a part of us. See, we lost this. We didn't grow up with our mom and our dad telling us, I am a soul organized of the potencies of the living eternal I am, We didn't grow up. Hi, Elizabeth. All right, sister. Thanks for coming in. Good to see ya. We didn't grow up with our parents telling us these things. You know what I mean? We didn't grow up with that. Faithists in future generations, they're going to grow up under this. Their parents are going to be telling them, son, I want you to know you are a soul organized of the potencies of the living eternal I am. Son, when you have certain days, make sure you say, I call on my soul power and expression to quicken all my organs. Or, daughter, I want you to repeat after me and say this. The great spirit is the power that now works through my soul. And daughter, I want you to say this. You see that? You see that? See, this is purifying your soul. That's why we're given this. See, we got to reverse that poisonous atmosphere we've been under. The words of the carnal, the language, the corrupt language, you know, the Creator saying this is how you correct all. See, this is how you get your power back. He said, all this is you. This is all you. It's like you telling somebody, hey, bro, don't you know that your soul is vibrating its wisdom through the inner cells of your brain? Did you know that your soul is vibrating its growing sense of the Creator's love through every cell of your brain? Did you know that your soul is vibrating its living will? You tell people that, you remember there's a saying, there's some saying talking about when you repeat something, it's bound to come to pass, or you know what I mean? I know that there was some German Nazi guy that said if you repeat a lie often enough, people believe it at some point. Well, the reverse is true. See, the Creator, he's showing us. This is our power right here. Brethren, that's your power. See, when we born in the earth, we lost this. This is our power. Look at that. Your soul is powerful. You know that? Did you know that? I got a little taste of it the other day. Remember the guy, his power chair, it was broke. He called for me. I came out. He was showing me he couldn't start it, couldn't move it. I said, wait a minute. And I went back inside. I closed the door. I asked the Creator if he would start it. I opened the door. I told him to start it, and he started it right up. And I do have to be honest. 1 millisecond before he turned that key, I lost faith. Exactly 1 millisecond, before he turned that key, I lost faith. I didn't think it was going to start. 1 millisecond, right before he turned that key, I lost faith. And it started anyway. See, and don't, I can go on. And I'm telling you, brethren, because you should do the same thing, man. You should do the same thing. Remember, when you get in a situation, ask Creator, ask him to step in. You're going to have to go out on faith like that. I think you have to be discerning. It's time for the reading of the word. Ask the Creator, hey, ask him to step in. Ask the Creator to step in, man. Let's go down that road all of a sudden. Let's go down that road. Let's quit doing all this learning. Let's start showing some power. How about that? You know that is coming, right? Cosmic era. Pluto gone into Aquarius. You know it's coming, right? We don't know when Holy Cosmic Day is. You brethren don't know when it is. We don't know when Holy Cosmic Day is, brethren. See? It's going to hit some brethren. It's going to blindside some brethren. I'm talking about faithists who are not trying to run. You're going to be them brides who are knocking at the door. Them bride, remember? And the door was shut. Now, I don't want to sound harsh, man. I'm trying to make the point that the Creator, he seems to operate on the same principle that's in the world. If you get a brother or sister that's working for it, then they should expect a recompense. All through the Oahspe, you see brethren, what's a good word for They striving. They doing things. They being proactive. We got brethren. You ain't running no more. You tired. You give up. At the worst time, man, you can't run no more. You can't believe. You can't give yourself over to the word. Can't redeem the time. You know, you don't got no strength, no faith. You're getting tired, man. You don't want to hang with brethren. You better think, man. I'm telling you, you better think, man. May the Creator bless the reading of his word. I did this yesterday. It knocked me out so bad. I had to do it again. I had to do it again, man. It knocked me out so bad. I had to do it again. I had to do it again, man. You know what I'm saying? And I might even do it again. I might even do it Monday. I pray it bless you, brethren. I hope you brethren get knocked out by what I'm getting ready to read. I pray that the Creator, he'll bless my speaking. Oh man, I hope he bless me so I can share with you. I hope I can knock you out, man. You know, I hope he'll let me. Let's try. May the Creator bless the reading of his word, the inspiration of the ever-present. To you, I gave the ability to accumulate knowledge and impart it by means of spoken and written language. Okay. To you, I gave the capacity to comprehend the idea of a creator and to acquire wisdom and perfection of character by observing the ways and works of your creator. Does anybody want wisdom and perfection? You get it by observing the ways and works of your creator. I am the one, universal inspiration of all lives. My presence is the life and intelligence of all animals as well as of all humanity. I created animals subject to my inspiration. But humans, I created to learn by experience. See, we're empirical beings. You know, we learn by experience. As soon as you get a little deer, a little foal, FOE, born from a deer, 5 minutes later, they know to run. You know what I mean? Why? Because that's the creator. That's his inspiration. With us, we'll walk up to a stove and put our hand on the fire, on the stove top. We have to learn by experience. Creator, he says, remember, Radiance anthology. Now, I got the ordering information in the description area in case you brethren want one. They send it out for free. Big old book, man. Big as the Oahspe. They send it out for free. They won't let you pay them. See? So the ordering information is in the description area if you want one. Creator, he says, see, this was given to us by Suis. These people, they could talk to angels. You know that? Radiance anthology. A Suis received this, or was it a Sargis? Let me see. Is it a Suis or Sargis? I think it's a Suis. You know, people they could see angels and talk to them. They were given this word. They were given this word. An angel talked to a Suis, maybe a lot of them, and they gave us this word. See? Look here. They say, my intelligence, the creator, his intelligence inspires the spider to make his web and the bird to build its nest. He says, my inspiration moves the bee, the honeybee, to form a cooperative commonwealth. He said, I inspire animals to mate at the proper season and then live apart during gestation. He said, give attention to my ways of working that you may learn the wisdom of my inspiration. He says, my inspiration in the animals, they call it instinct, you know? He said, by this word, much wisdom is hidden, meaning because you assign words instead of the creator, your wisdom suffers. See, Christianity, they do the same thing. They say the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, you know? They say Mother Nature. See, you're assigning the glory of the creator to something separate from him. So you suffer in your wisdom. That's what he's saying here. Because you assign his glory to something else, then you suffer a lack of wisdom. He said others would ascribe the marvelous ability of animals to a long series of reincarnations. He says, again, that's a word that confuses the mind and hides my simple way with a thought of it involved in complex process. See, man's desire is to complicate things that he can't explain. You know, well, you got the knee bone connected to the thigh bone. You got the thigh bone connected to the ankle bone. And then you got the elbow connected to the shoulder bone. Then you got that connected to the vertebrae, and then the clavicle, and then you throw in the skull. You know, the creator said, man, you don't got to go through all that. You know, just tell the world that I created you. You ain't got to go through all that, man. You know? He said, again, a word confuses the mind and hides my simple way with a thought of an involved and in complex process. He said, not by a long series of incarnations, nor by slow evolution of intelligence do animals and insects gain their wisdom. The profound but simple truth is that my presence is their direct inspiration. That's his presence in the honeybee. That's his presence in the spider. See? That's all you need to say. That's the creator right there working within that spider. Why should animals and insects have all necessary knowledge given to them while humans are obliged to learn through long and hard experience? He said, because the human soul is a superior being created by me for a superior purpose. He says, I created you to become an independent, responsible being. He said, animals are entirely dependent upon me for their inspiration. He said, I gave them all necessary wisdom. They do not grow in self-conscious wisdom and ability as you do. He says, you can develop a discrimination of cause and effect and learn from your reactions to external impressions and from your subconscious impressions. He said, we can learn from the things we see, feel, experience. You know, external stimuli. We can learn from it. He said, this ability makes you superior to all animals and is evidence that humanity was not evolved from any animal type. The simple fact that animals, they receive direct inspiration and humans do not, show a separation in creation between animals and humans. He says animals differ from humans in that they have their capacities for knowledge satisfied so that they can care for themselves as you cannot. Remember, the deer gives birth to a foal, and 5 minutes after it's born, that thing is on its feet, man, and it's able to run. It can care for itself. It can escape the predator. A baby cannot. He says, it is only by much observation and experience that human beings know what foods are good for them and what are harmful. See, only through empirical evidence, experience, do we know right from wrong. But animals know this from my inspiration. A young animal is soon able to take care of itself. A young child must be cared for by others for years. But the animal cannot improve its species as can the humans. Fossilized and mummified skulls show a great growth in the brain capacity of humans. Show a great growth in the brain capacity of humans. While animal types remain the same over long periods of time. While the animal is not capable of self-improvement, humanity is. And in this, it is shown that humanity is a different creation from animals. While you have no direct conscious inspiration from me to begin with, as has the animal, you have potentialities capable of endless unfoldment, the human. The animal is merely a reflector of impressions from external objects and forces and of direct inspirations adapted to its necessities. But the human soul is a creative individual, a seed of possibilities which you can develop by your personal effort to an unlimited degree. See, somehow, not just talking about this reality, but our potential is limitless. It's limitless. Think about it. See, limitless. Can you even imagine that? Do you think about that before you go to sleep? Do you think about what makes you happy? I mean, the ultimate, man, you know what I mean? Have you had times in your life? Now multiply that by 1,000,000,000,000. You know what I'm saying? See, the creator, he says your possibilities are unlimited. See, that's the situation we in, brethren. You remember that verse that brother Cosmic Durrell, he liked to talk about, until you have created a sun or something like that. You've only reached half your potential or something like that. See, do you brethren think like that? You know what I'm saying? Well, you on that road, you coming in, sitting and listening to this word. See, you can see, this is the process. You know what I mean? This is the process. See, you know how you have to go to school? High school, you got to sit in class and listen. Now, we in the world, and there ain't hardly nobody in class. Now, I'm not saying you brother and nobody. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I mean, how many people we got in the room here? We got 6 people out of 8 billion people in the world. How do you like that? You know what I mean? Out of 8 billion people. You mean, and then count in my brethren in the description box in their rooms. That's less, it's less than 1%. See? And then when the creator turned around and the world say, how come them and not us? And then the creator said, he says, because they sat and listened. They prepared themselves. Should I give that to you who did not prepare himself instead of him who did prepare himself? You had the same opportunity. Now you want to now you want the recompense that belongs to my sons and daughters. See, now you want it. But what about when they were in summer school and they chose to be there and you were outside playing? And not only that, now you see that you, at the time you should be graduating, you got to go back to kindergarten. See? I'm not trying to sound harsh, but I gave you a free will. See? It's a crying shame, man, you know? Effort. It says the human soul, I'm in the middle of the screen. But the human soul is a creative individual, a seed of possibilities which you can develop by your personal effort to an unlimited degree. See, the process is now. To you, old man and woman, have I given a dominion but I have given a dominion which you but faintly apprehend as yet. See, we faintly apprehend that we belong, that we have power, our soul is power. We faintly recognize it. See, we barely recognize it. See, the creator, he said, oh man and woman, I've given a dominion which you but faintly apprehend as yet. You barely know it. He said the secret of the animal's wisdom is in its harmony with its mental and physical environment. It perfectly fulfills the object of its creation. That's what, so the animals got one thing over on us. They are in harmony with the mental and physical environment in which they exist. I don't know what that means fully. It says you were not created to be an animal. You were created to be an intelligent, self-conscious soul, and your natural environment is spiritual and not physical. Your natural environment is spiritual, not physical. See? Hey, you know what? This is our natural environment. Look here. Look at this. That's our natural environment. We go to a world of people who exhibit these characteristics. You know that? This is our natural environment. Look. And there's way more than this. Look at that. All that is us. This is our power, and we faintly perceive it. We faintly perceive it, is what it's saying here. We faintly perceive it. We faintly perceive it. Trying to get the page back that I left off of. We faintly perceive our kingdom, our dominion. Okay. Um, I lost my place, so I'm looking for it. Oh, okay. I'm on the next page. I didn't know it. All right. To you, O man, I'm at the top. To you, O man and woman, have I given a dominion which you but faintly apprehend as of yet. He says the secret of the animal's wisdom is in its harmony with its mental and physical environment. It perfectly fulfills the object of its creation. You were not created to be an animal. You were created to be an intelligent, self-conscious soul, and your natural environment is spiritual, not physical. Nevertheless, you shall prove yourself master of your physical environment when you create a spiritual environment adapted to your soul's dominion over material conditions. Now, I can't translate that. I can't translate it. I wouldn't be able to translate it to your satisfaction. So you have to read it and translate it yourself, what it means. He says, you shall prove yourself master of your physical environment when you create a spiritual environment. So we have to create a spiritual environment adapted to your soul's dominion over material conditions. I don't know what that means. Creator, I don't know what that means. I like to translate it so I can share it, but I don't know how to translate that. If you'll help me. He says, learn to read my meaning in the revelation of my intelligence through animals. Learn to read my meaning. They do not gain self mastery by having all knowledge given to them. They do not progress. Learn from this that growth and individuality comes through effort to learn and to apply the wisdom of experience. You were created to experience an immortal destiny of ever increasing wisdom and power. Your earthly experience is but the beginning of your development. As you learn the rudiments of knowledge and wisdom and make practical application of what you learn, you will become attuned to your soul's own spirit of eternal life and partake of its wisdom and power. See, every day we got something to look forward to. Every day is another step on our ascension of learning our soul's own sphere of eternal life. Learning at the same time how to partake of our wisdom and power. See? It says the animal is attuned to that degree of my intelligence which is adapted to its needs. So the animal, it takes what it needs in order to survive its habitat. He says, you are as yet attuned to the spirit of intelligence to which the animal responds. He says, you are as yet neither attuned to the spirit of intelligence to which the animal responds, nor to my intelligence is manifested in the spirit of soul. So we got growing to do. We don't respond like we should, is what the creator is saying, to whatever external stimuli, spiritual stimuli he gives to us. He says we don't respond like we should, like the animal does. We don't respond yet. We will, but not now. See, we don't respond like the animal does to his environment, but we will The soul sphere is your natural habitat, as the natural sphere is that of the animals. Our natural habitat is the soul sphere. See, our power. We got power. That's our natural habitat. You know, we're born in spirit, walking around in our natural habitat. Brethren making it rain and thunder because that's what they like. Brethren making the weather do sunshine and, blue skies because that's what they like. Some brethren making it cold because that's what they like. Some brethren making it hot because that's what they like. Some brethren, going down underneath the ocean because that's what they like. Your natural habitat is the soul sphere where you can do nearly anything. See? That's your natural habitat. When you are as perfectly in harmony with the soul sphere as the animals is with its natural sphere, then all the riches of my intelligence, which have been realized by immortal souls from ancient times, will be yours to use for your welfare and the enlargement of your creative powers. How do you like that? So, Creator, will you help us to be in tune with our natural? Will you, Creator, will you teach us how to be perfectly in harmony with the soul sphere as the animal is with its natural sphere, Eoe? We are asking you if you will teach us how to be perfectly in harmony with the soul sphere as the animal is with this natural sphere, so that we may realize all of the enlargement of our creative powers. Eoe, we pray and ask, when your mind is perfectly attuned to me and your soul, and to all souls in harmony with me, you will have my divine inspiration in the same direct way as the animals has my natural inspiration. So right now we're living under a disconnect because our mind is not perfectly attuned to the Creator in our soul. So, Creator, will you teach us to be perfectly attuned to you in your soul, Creator? We are asking humbly, will you teach us to be perfectly attuned to you in your soul and to all souls in harmony with you, so that we might have divine inspiration in the same direct way as the animal has your natural inspiration? Will you teach us to be perfectly attuned to you in your soul? Will you teach us, Creator? Eoe, teach us to be perfectly attuned to you in your soul and to all souls in harmony with you, so that we may have your divine inspiration in the same direct way as the animal has your natural inspiration. Okay, he says, I create animals perfect for their physical sphere of existence. I create animals for their perfect for their physical sphere of existence. Let me change the screen here. I created animals. Okay. I created animals perfect for their physical sphere of existence. You were created perfect potentially for a spiritual sphere of existence. You are in an embryonic state here in the material world. You brethren, okay? We're in the womb right now. See, we are in an embryonic state. We're in like we were in our mom's womb. Creator said, you're in an embryonic state here in the material world. You are not yet born into the sphere of your true destiny. See, we're not who we are futuristically. In the future, we're not who we are. See? That's something to give you something to look forward to. He says, you are in an embryonic state here in the material world. You are not yet born into the sphere of your true destiny. But as your consciousness awakens to its true and eternal life in me, you will, even in this material sphere, have wisdom and power and spirit animals. And you will exercise soul dominion over the forces of the earth. So, Creator, I don't know what this means. How can we have soul dominion over the forces of the earth? Will you teach my brethren and sisters what that means? Will you help us to manifest this, Creator? And then will you help us to testify so that other brethren can be encouraged? Will you teach each one of us, Creator, how we can manifest this in our life? How we can awaken our conscience to His true and eternal life in you? Will you teach us, EOE, so we can have wisdom and power that is superior to animals? And how we can exercise soul dominion over the forces of the earth, Creator? EOE, we ask. When you spend the same time and energy cultivating your soul nature that you now spend in cultivating your senses and intellect, see, that's key right there. When you spend the same time and energy cultivating your soul nature, see, how do you cultivate the soul nature? Right here. That's part of it right there. See that? That's cultivate. We are cultivating our soul nature. See that right there on the screen? We are cultivating. That's part of what we do. That's part of cultivating your soul nature. What does it mean to cultivate? What is the definition of cultivating? What is the definition of cultivating? When you prepare, when you till, when you plow, when you dig, when you turn the hoe, farm, work, prepare, fertilize, when you cultivate the soul, 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 I lost the place where I was at. When you cultivate the soul, when you cultivate the soul, when your mind is perfectly attuned to me and your soul, I lost my place. Now, how can this be, man? How is this possible that I lost my place? How is this possible that I keep losing my place like this? How is that possible? Bear with me, brother. I gotta find my place again. When you cultivate the soul, is where we left off. It was saying when you cultivate the soul, and we went to look at the meaning of what it means to cultivate the soul. This is frustrating. I lost my place. How do you like that? I lost my place. It was talking about cultivating the soul. See, we went through all this. Oh, here it is. When you spend the same time, I'm up top here. Let me make it near the top. When you spend the same time and energy cultivating your soul nature, cultivating, preparing, tilling the ground, working it, that you now spend in cultivating your senses and intellect, you will unfold soul perceptions which will enable you to know all things without the study of books. So when you spend the time cultivating your soul, so Creator, will you teach us how to do that? How to cultivate our souls? Will you teach us, EOE, how we can cultivate our souls? Will you teach us how we can cultivate our souls as we do our senses and intellect? Will you teach us? So that we may unfold our soul perceptions, which will enable us to know all things without the study of books. Is it pleasing to you, EOE, that you might teach us how to cultivate our soul nature? Will you teach us how to cultivate our soul nature? As I inspired the spider to weave its geometrical web, or the bee to live and work peacefully with its fellows without books or instruction, so I can inspire you with the wisdom which will enable you to create a perfect personal life and a peaceful and prosperous social order. When your soul is in harmony with my benevolent will, I will give you dominion over all the forces of the earth. So, Creator, will you teach us how to bring our soul into harmony with your benevolent will? Might you teach us, Creator, how to bring our soul in harmony with your benevolent will? You shall conquer the cold and subdue the heat and master all destructive forces and make them act for the welfare of humanity. When you have learned to live in accord with my benevolent immortals and can work in harmony with all the benevolent beings on earth, then many shall work as one, and my will shall be masterful through your united endeavor. So will you teach us, Creator, to work as one and to work with the benevolent immortals so that we can be in harmony with all the benevolent beings on earth? Under the leadership of benevolent immortals, the intelligence of earth and heaven shall blend in a united and organic association. Ye shall modify the climate to meet the needs of my children. Ye shall dissolve the causes of diseases and epidemics. You brethren see the cosmic era now? Do you see it now? Do you see power from on high here? You shall dissolve the causes of diseases and epidemics. You shall establish intercommunication between the peoples of the planets. How do you like that? You shall establish intercommunication between the peoples of the planets and their spiritual worlds. The forces of the planets and of distant suns shall respond to your united wills and be drawn to accomplish my design, which shall make this planet a paradise of more perfect, benevolent beings. All those things which are for the good of all can be attained by you, my beloved humanity, when you have purified your physical nature and attuned your mind to the will and purpose of the soul of things which I am. All planetary forces are obediently fulfilling my design, and I shall succeed in perfecting all my children according to the wisdom and power which I have implanted in every human soul, which is my very self. And that will conclude the reading of this powerful, magnificent word. That will conclude the reading of the inspiration of the ever present. And he's simply telling you, he told us a few things, chief of which is the powerful beings that we are. And he's encouraging us to attain it, even right now, man, by dedicating ourselves to the educating of our soul, cultivating our soul confirmations. By dedicating our minds to the Creator's inspiration, knowing that as animals have inspiration because they receive direct inspiration from the Creator, the same can apply to us. A greater inspiration is the Creator's will for us. All these are things that are waiting for us. So, Creator, the best that we can do right now, the best that we know to do right now is things like the soul confirmations. But will you teach us what these words mean that we have read today? Will you teach us and to apply this word, and then that we may testify? We don't know when Holy Cosmin Day is coming, but will you make us ready? Will you give us spirits to dedicate ourselves to our soul, wisdom, and power so that we might be ready for what your purposes are for us? So that we might be ready. All right, brethren, that's the best I can do for right now. That was the inspiration of the ever present. Inspiration of the ever present. And I think I'll go ahead and close it down right now. I'll put the link in the room. I don't know if anybody wants to come on to share about what we talked about. So I'll hang out for about 30 seconds, see if somebody wants to come in. You're more than welcome. Thank you for joining me in this study, man. Oh, man, oh, man. I'm telling you, Creator EOE, thank you. This, and man, it's just a terrible shame. It's just a terrible shame that this is not widespread, more widespread at this time. It's time for the soul confirmation so that we can end the video. So, brethren, let's go ahead and do that. Let's do that right now, the soul confirmation. So the soul confirmation is the one where it says, I will arouse. No, wait a minute. It says every particle. That's where that's the one we did in the earlier video. So let's end with that. Let me share the screen. Sorry about that. I wasn't sharing the screen. So let's end with that soul confirmation, where it says every particle 3 times together on 3. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Every particle of my nature tingles and thrills with the vitality and health of the Creator. Again, 1, 2, 3. Every particle of my nature tingles and thrills with the vitality and health of the Creator. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Every particle of my nature tingles and thrills with the vitality and health of the Creator. And brethren, that is the soul confirmation for this Friday, December 27th. Creator, thank you. Pray that you would use the soul confirmation to manifest and infuse us with power according to these soul confirmations, and that you would glorify yourself in our understanding so that we may grow, and that we may ascend and be ready for Holy Cosmic Day, whenever that is. So, brethren, thank you for joining me. That's the best I can do for today. Weekend, so no video tomorrow and Sunday, or Saturday and Sunday. I'm waiting for the verse, or no. Oh, I'm thinking of Nazarene. Elijah, I thought you were Nazarene. He must not be here today, so it's all right, brethren. Just thank you for joining me, and pray that the Creator bless you. Pray to grant that we have. He covers with peace, love, covers with wisdom, knowledge, endurance, understanding, protection, and thank you again for joining me. Until I see you again on video, shalom, peace be unto you.